Thank you all for joining me today for another awesome video. Of course, we're still talking all things food. I hope everyone's having a great day. We are going to be talking about, let me say the name exactly right, I don't want to mess it up. The Keto Cheesecake Dip with Fruit. When I made this last night, you guys, it was after 6, which is my cutoff for when my fasting starts. And I was super disappointed that I couldn't taste it or sample it. So needless to say, as soon as my fast was over this morning, that was the first thing I did was sample it. And let me tell you, it is super good. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it as much as I do. So I'm just going to jump right in. This is our finished product. Is that not pretty? I did not use as much fruit as the recipe calls for, but this was perfect. This was more than enough. So, actually I may have used more than I was supposed to. Let me look here. No, I think we're okay. So anyway, I want to remind you guys, when you're taking care of your fruit, when you're adding those into your recipes or into your daily routine, you want to make sure that you're not overdoing it on the fruits because they do have a lot of natural sugars in them. So what I like to do is my handy dandy scale. So I honestly think this was like 20 bucks. It may have been 30. I don't think it was that much at Walmart like last year. So it's been really good. It's done its job very well. I've had to replace the battery once, but that was about it. So if you don't have a food scale, I would definitely recommend it. I'm not seeing any comments yet, so hopefully if you guys are out there, I'll start seeing those soon. So this recipe makes a lot of dip, you guys. Like, this is a really nice sized bowl, you see, and there's a lot of dip in here. It has 10 servings. On the recipe itself, this is from the SlimFast website, by the way. The serving size is 42 grams. So again, I had to use my handy dandy scale to kind of figure out what that would be in tablespoons or how that worked. So I found roughly 3 full tablespoons is 42 grams whenever I measured it out. Last night I measured it out. So there you go. 3 full tablespoons, it would be a serving. And then you have your little pieces of fruit with it. So a nice little treat, especially if you're going to, not at the moment, but you know, whenever all of this settles down and everyone can have a little gathering, then it's a nice little dip to set out with a nice little fruit platter. And in the meantime, it's a great treat for you and your family while you're staying in. I did also find a nifty little trick I have all these little notes here, so forgive me. Instead of cream cheese, say you don't have cream cheese at home or you can't find cream cheese at the store, one alternative, I have not tried this, but it does say you can use equal parts of ricotta and plain full-fat yogurt together to make a replacement for cream cheese. So that's a nifty little trick for you there. Now, the recipe does call for vanilla extract, which I had on hand. Speaking of having things on hand, you do not realize the staples. Once you kind of convert into this keto lifestyle, you don't realize the staples that you end up having on hand all the time. So when I went to make this, I thought, oh Lord, you know, I may have to go to the store. I don't know. And I don't want to have to get out. If I don't have to, I'd rather stay home. So I started looking through the pantry and the refrigerator, and guess what? I had everything I needed. So, it was heavy whipping cream, which I always have on hand. Cream cheese I always have on hand. With salt, just a little bit of salt, vanilla extract. Let's see what else was there. Oh, and a sugar substitute. So I personally prefer monk fruit sweetener. It is my ultimate favorite. But I happen to have, yay, hi Jessica. I happen to have some Swerve in the pantry, and I prefer confectioners. Hey Christina, hey Jessica. I prefer confectioners whenever I'm making fruit dips and such. So yes, I prefer monk fruit so much, but the confectioners that I had was Swerve, so, and it's a nice erythritol, so we went with that. In case you guys missed it earlier, this is our big bowl of yummy fruit dip. It makes a really big bowl, 10 servings here, and this was our finished product. I'll show you guys that are just now coming in. So super delicious little treat. We were just going to talk about, right, yeah, Jessica, I agree. It is not grainy at all. It is so good, and it's so much like, I mean, the taste is so much like just traditional sugar. Hey Donna, thanks for joining us. I was talking about the things that we have as staples in our home already. So I did not have to go to the store to make any of this. So that was super awesome. Hey Tanya. So with the extracts, and this is just my opinion for this particular dip, because you're going to use it with fruit and such anyway. It calls for vanilla extract, but say you don't have vanilla and you have strawberry, or you just want to be creative and you want to try a different flavor, go ahead and throw some of that in there. It's so versatile whenever it comes to having a fruit dip. So that's a nice little tip for you as well. I don't know if any of you guys have found that you keep these kinds of keto staples in your house all the time now too, but I know that it has definitely, almond flour, coconut flour, cream cheese, sour cream, Parmesan, like those types of things we kind of keep in the fridge all the time. But I wanted to mention again, I mentioned this on Tuesday, but Marianne has this awesome little cheat sheet for all of you out there that are not familiar with like net carbs and fruits and the sugar contents and such. So she has a nice little picture visual here. And I will post it in the comments as well so that you have a link to these are the best low carb fruits for the keto diet. So I will post those for you guys as well. Yes, Jessica, just buy in bulk when you can, and that way you have them all the time. So every time you get an inkling or find a super awesome recipe here in the group from all of our awesome members, then you can just jump right in the kitchen and go ahead and whip it up without having to run out to the store. So I don't know if any of you guys have any tips on the fruit dips or alternatives for the extracts or any different flavors you've tried. But if you have, then make sure to shoot me a comment down here so we can chat about it. I'm trying to think also, hey Sarah, don't forget to check out the SlimFast app. Also, the recipes are in there, and inside the app you can transfer the recipe straight into your day so that it's all calculated in there for you. And you will also have access to all the nutritional information for that particular recipe right at your fingertips. So SlimFast app is amazing. So don't forget to check it out. Again, I don't know who was watching earlier, but this particular recipe calls for 42 grams as a serving. So, hey, Sarah, I see you now. 3 tablespoons is roughly 42 grams is what I came up with. So just for future reference. I don't think I have a whole lot of tips. It's pretty straightforward and delicious and a nice little treat for you and your family. Does SlimFast cost anything, Jackie? I purchased my SlimFast from Walmart just because that is generally the least expensive that I have found. It is available at lots and lots of stores depending on where you are in the country. Here I go to Walmart, Publix, and Winn-Dixie usually. Hey Christy, thanks for joining us. Yes, Jessica, simple and delicious. I like simple, and this one was really simple. Like, it was whipped up in no time. But Jackie, yes, so there's no plan that you have to sign up for. You don't have to pay a monthly membership or anything like that. The biggest thing is just getting your supplies. So, and you're replacing 2 meals a day whenever you're starting out. So you're just kind of switching things out. You're only having to worry about buying groceries for 1 meal a day and cooking that 1 meal a day. So it's really a big convenience, a huge lifesaver, and it tastes amazing. So it's just a win-win all over. I agree, Michael. Yeah, Walmart is definitely... Oh, no. I see you, Jackie. The app is free. Absolutely free. No charge. But I agree with you, Michael. Walmart is the least expensive place to find your product for sure. Thank you, Jessica. I was misunderstanding there. Yes, Christina, brownie batter smoothie. So good. It's kind of funny that, the biggest challenge of breakfast is deciding which flavor to go with, because it's really, really hard for me. So I tend to go with vanilla, and I had my vanilla coconut this morning, but the chocolate is super duper good too, and one of my favorites. So I hope you enjoy that. And if you guys whip up this tasty little dessert here, I'll show it to you again, because how can you not love that? You can just whip this up for tonight. And even if you don't have these particular berries on hand, you can use what you do have, or, honestly, it's really pretty good by itself, but 3 tablespoons, I don't know how well that'll get you. But, you could probably kind of incorporate it into like 1 tablespoon into a shake and see how that works. Chocoholic. I know, Christina. Yes, I have some people in my family who are super duper chocoholics. My husband is one of them. So we kind of always have the best of both worlds in the house. So it's a win-win for us for that as well. Cappuccino, yes, Sarah. I don't think people understand, but I do not like coffee at all. Like I don't like to drink it. I don't like to even smell it. So my husband has a fun time with that, because he thinks it's hilarious that I don't like it, and he drinks it. So he enjoys the cappuccino mix for his morning shake. He actually does 1 scoop of cappuccino with 1 scoop of chocolate, and then he adds in 1 of the caramel cream fat bomb shots. So you might want to give that a try if you haven't already. It's really good. Thanks, Christina. I am super excited about it. This will be dessert tonight for us. So, hey, Karen. Yes, other than the coffee, just because I don't drink coffee. But yes, the flavors are amazing. And what's the best part is there is a little bit of something for everyone. So, I can have the vanilla and the chocolate and not have the coffee. And then my husband has his coffee and chocolate. So it's a little bit of something for everybody. I'm so glad you guys are here talking with me. Coffee addict. Yes, he loves adding the caramel fat bombs to his morning shake. That's his breakfast pick me up, I guess. So do you guys have any tips on we were talking about the difference between Swerve and monk fruit earlier. Yes, Jessica. That's the huge plus of SlimFast for me, is variety. There are so many different things to choose from. And even within those things, you can then turn around and make variations of those with extracts and such. So the possibilities are endless. The fat bomb shots, hey, Carrie, they are sweet, but they're not overly sweet. So it makes a nice pairing, like if you wanted to add it to your shake or something. But I've had them, I like them cold, like out of the fridge. So I've enjoyed the fat bomb shots cold right out of the fridge, straight out of the pack. And a lot of our members have said that they like adding it to their hot tea. I'm way behind because I still haven't put all that together yet. So hopefully soon I'll try one of those too. But Now yesterday, Jennifer put or maybe it was this morning. It was this morning. She put one of the caramel fat bomb shots on top of some keto pancakes as syrup. So many ways to use it, and they're really, really delicious. There's the caramel and the orange cream, and they're both really great. Right, Karen. I did like Swerve in the beginning, and I was completely sold on it, and I was like, you know what, this is just like sugar, it's amazing, until I found monk fruit. And then I was like, oh my goodness. I was sold. Completely sold on monk fruit. I don't know that I'll find another sweetener that I like more, but it's really, really good. And I love it when I bake. If I'm baking cakes or cupcakes, I love to use monk fruit. It bakes really well. There's no aftertaste, and it's nice and sweet. Yeah, right, Sarah. The fat bomb shots are super sweet, and they're super smooth, and they're not overpowering. I agree. And yes, Christy, I think you're with the majority of the people here who love to have the fat bomb shots in their coffee. That's another great tip there. I'm trying to think if we have any other fun stuff to talk about here. I did talk about an alternative for cream cheese earlier. I couldn't find an alternative for heavy whipping cream just because this particular recipe needs it to be whipped, and the alternatives don't whip very, very well. They kind of come out flat. So there's not really an alternative for that, but definitely for the cream cheese if you don't have any on hand. Oh my goodness, Sarah, you're in for a treat. You need to try the monk fruit for sure. I personally prefer the Lakanto, but any of them, I would give it a try. It really reminds me of traditional like sugar. It's really good. All right, you guys. I don't want to keep taking you up, and I'm not really sure what else I can say about this delicious little treat. Hey, Deborah. Thank you for joining us. We were just talking about this yummy little keto cheesecake dip with fruit on top, so as a nice little treat. And I was showing everyone earlier that it makes a lot of dip, and there's actually 10 servings here, so 3 full tablespoons is a nice little treat with some fruit on top. So I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I know I am going to. And oh, okay, Christy hasn't tried the monk fruit either. Girl, you gotta try it. It's super good. Thanks, Deborah. I was super excited about it, and it's really easy, and most of the ingredients, other than maybe the fruit, I feel like most people are going to have that in their fridge anyway, so it was a nice, quick little treat to whip up. The recipe, Lori, is going to be posted in the comments as soon as we end this video. I'll go ahead and post that down there, along with Marianne's awesome little guide to the best low-carb fruits for the keto diet. So I will post both of those down there, as well as a link to our SlimFast app, so that you guys can jump in there and utilize that as well. And don't forget, when you're in the app, it's full of nutritional info. So anything, we use some of these other apps sometimes and we get frustrated because the nutritional information is incorrect. So the SlimFast Keto app, no problem. It's completely accurate. The nutritional info is there for every single recipe that's on the website, so it's awesome. Oh, hey, Lori, I'm so glad you joined us. Welcome to the family. We're excited to have you here with us. So this is just a live that I was doing to kind of give people a nice little idea on a treat while we're kind of stuck at home right now. So we were talking about that yummy dip. Thanks, Sarah. I tend to forget about my hair sometimes, and with the baby, I almost always have it thrown back. So today I was just stepping outside of my box a little bit. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. I guess we're going to call it a day. And like I said, I will post all of that great juicy information for you down in the comments whenever we're done here. Thank you, Christina, for coming and watching. I appreciate y'all so much. So just keep smiling, you guys. And then remember that we are all stronger together. Have a great day. Love y'all.